In this video, I will show you how to erase blemishes and small objects from an image. Spoiler, just paint over the area you want to remove. There are two tools in Nitro, but I'm going to focus primarily on the newer one called the AI Eraser. To start, let's look at the more basic one called the Spot and Line Removal tool. As the name indicates, it is intended for simple repairs, ideally when the surrounding area is smooth. It's not as flexible as the AI Eraser, but it's very fast and works in some cases where the more advanced one doesn't work as well, such as at the edges of images. I will use it to remove a line from this image of Abraham Lincoln. First, go to the Quick Fixes area. Then select Spot and Line Removal. Size the brush and paint. The cursor will change in size as you drag the slider. For this tool, use a small brush that fully covers the artifact. And then you can touch it up some too. It usually works better with multiple smaller strokes, as you can see here. I can press this button to show before and after. I can also remove the entire thing by pressing this trash can. It's also effective with skin blemishes and dust spots, but in general you'll get better results with the AI Eraser. The AI Eraser uses a state-of-the-art generative AI. It's lightweight, fast, and high quality, but unfortunately not all devices support it. If your device can run Apple Intelligence, then it can use the AI Eraser. It's important to know that this does not use Apple Intelligence, and Apple Intelligence does not have to be turned on. It's just an easy to remember way to describe the hardware requirements for this AI technology. I'll quickly use the new eraser with this same Lincoln image. Go back to the Quick Fixes area and select AI Eraser. Like the Spot and Line Removal tool, set the stroke size and paint. Unlike the other tool, rather than use a small brush, give the AI a little bit more margin. Not too much though, and avoid getting too close to the edge of the image. You can see that it works quickly and well. The same buttons exist in the AI Eraser. You see it before and after. Like all AIs, sometimes it creates unexpected results. In that case, either undo and try again, or just paint over the area once more. When you're done, press the check mark button. As a second example, I have a picture of a horse and rider, and now remove them both. This is something that the Spot and Line Removal tool cannot handle. Use a bit of a bigger brush. Again, you want to give the AI some margin, so don't get too close to the object you want to remove. And it's gone. Before and after. I can also remove these other objects here if I like. And they're gone as well. I can delete the entire AI Eraser, which I can undo, or I can delete individual strokes with the button up here. Here's one more image. I will remove some of the people in these kayaks. Now, if I focus just on the kayaks, I might not get a good fix. As you see here. I'm just going to undo and try again. For something like this, it's important to get the reflections in the water too. And see, it's gone. I can repeat that for these others as well. Please note, this algorithm is not designed for huge repairs, so keep that in mind when using it. Also, even small changes to the brush can change the fix quite a bit, so if it doesn't work the first time, just try again with a slightly different brush stroke. I'll go back to this image to show some of the advanced controls. The advanced controls appear here where it says last stroke. There's help here for the overall tool, and you can click here to get some help about these advanced controls I'm about to cover. It's called last stroke because that applies to the most recent stroke you painted. Now in my case, the most recent stroke were those little posts. So I'm actually going to delete some of these strokes here. I'm going to start over again and start with this rider. The first thing I'm going to do actually is going to change the search area and the blend amounts. And I'll discuss that in a minute. So I'm going to paint the rider again. So it left something behind. Now I can undo or I can paint again. So I'll just paint it again. Right. Or I can undo. And then it works. As I mentioned, making small changes to the stroke can have an effect on the patch. So the first control is the search area. This controls how far away the AI looks when trying to figure out how to remove an object and fill in the gap. More is not always better. Pick the small search area that gives you a good result. So you can see that's not enough. That's fine. So I can try different amounts here to get the result that I want. In this case, the default is actually pretty good. The second is blend amount. When the AI makes a patch, it tries to match the area around it very closely. However, sometimes you can see an edge. In that case, change the blend amount. So I'll show you different blend amounts here. And if you look carefully, you should be able to see a small difference right around this area here. Blend amount is a pretty subtle effect, so typically you don't need to use it. As I mentioned, both the search area and the blend amount are per stroke. So if you're removing more than one item in an image, you can use different search areas and blend amounts for each one. Just remember that when you're setting the search area and the blend amount, you're only affecting the stroke you just made, not previous ones. One thing that's great about the AI eraser is you can continue to edit this image in real time, including raw images like this one. I'll move over to the slider area and I'll go over to enhance. I'll do a little bit of deepening. You can see here, it's nice and fast. Same with saturation or vibrancy. Almost all of the tools in Nitro work with an AI erased image, except for a few. There are three in particular: exposure, white balance, and noise reduction. It's important to set exposure, white balance, and noise reduction before erasing. In general, erasing works best with good input. So correct the exposure and the white balance, apply any noise reduction, and then use the AI eraser to remove objects. However, sometimes you're going to need to change that afterward. Exposure isn't always an issue. For pro raw images, for example, it doesn't matter at all. But for regular raw images, exposure changes after erasing can be an issue. For pro raw images, white balance, though, does affect it. So I'm going to just mess with the color temperature, and you can see the patch has appeared here. But all is not lost. You don't have to start over again. Go back to Quick Fixes, AI Eraser, and pick Reapply Strokes. Then it reruns the algorithm using the new white balance value. Let me switch to the iPhone so you can see how the interface looks there. On the iPhone, tap the Edit button in the upper right corner. In Edit, the quick fixes are listed first in this bottom toolbar. Go there and then tap AI Eraser. If your device doesn't support the eraser, then it won't appear in that list. You can see the same controls I showed before, but with a slightly different layout. The biggest difference is that the Reapply Strokes button is this second button on the left that you see right here. Otherwise, everything else is about the same. In summary, here are the most important things to know about the AI Eraser. The edges of the image are the hardest to fix because the AI has less information to work with. Undo or paint over the fix if you're not happy with it. Adjust the search area and the blend to improve the fix. Adjust exposure, white balance, and noise reduction first. And if you change those after erasing, use the Reapply Strokes button to update the patch. And that's it. I hope you find the AI Eraser to be useful. Thanks for watching.